What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bay State Media post-game show. I am here with my usual suspects, and Ben. And you already know the one and only man himself. What the hell is happening in sports? Mr. Narrow. Clap it up real quick, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, you know, it was a rough night on me and Ben's end here. I guess we'll get started with the Bruins real quick. I guess I had a few sentiments about this Bruins game. Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, like I said, this year for us, there's not too many expectations, despite players talking a lot about trying to want to 100% try and make the playoffs this year. It just doesn't really look like that this defense can hold up. And I mean, but you got a great night from some of these guys here: Middlestat, Geeky, Lowry, Pasternak. Geeky scored twice tonight, and those are the guys you probably about expect to do the damage most nights. But we outshot them, we outhit them, we beat them in the faceoff circle. The difference in the game was block shots and penalty minutes, man. I mean, they beat us in block shots 22-16, and the penalty minutes we had 11, they had 9. So that was ultimately the difference in the game that allowed this team that scored. Well, they only scored one power play goal, and the craziest part is Jacob Trouba got a goal today. So that's kind of concerning. Um, Looking on the Bruins end, that a guy like Jacob Trouba was able to score a goal, and I'm pretty sure he had a couple assists, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So,
Yes, he had to.
and I can't really defend Corpusalo whatsoever. 29 saves, 6 goals allowed, or excuse me, 23 saves, 6 goals allowed on 29 shots. I mean, it's not like he got peppered. It doesn't really sound like to me, or it didn't even really look like to me he got peppered tonight. So, this is just a all around horrible game. I know uh the plus minus numbers are staggering. I know that's not everything. I'll probably have to look at the 5-on-5 analytics and stuff like that to really give myself a gauge before we do the next podcast here. But it's just sad to see that you know Corpusalo didn't have a great game, and the defense in front of him didn't have a great game, and it was typically the guys you would expect. It's our first line guys. Um, and it's sad that we lost to the Ducks. I thought that we had a very decent showing against Vegas. The Avalanche, we didn't play so great, but this is a game where I felt like Corpusalo definitely should have proved himself enough to a point that he could be a backup for the whole year. And I know it's early, and I'm being a little harsh maybe, but I mean, this is kind of what we expected from this team. I mean, we're 3-6. The Ducks are 4-2-1. It just gets to a point. I know it's early, but like I said, and you guys saw me say it in the group chat and Instagram. This is just a sad case when it comes to this Bruins team that it looks like these guys are all in on going to the playoffs. And I told you, first 10 games is really my assessment of where the direction is going to be all the way up until the NHL All-Star deadline. And I just think that with this international break this upcoming year, we could benefit a lot from this international break. And it was a tough game for us to sit here and lose, but we gotta bounce back somehow, some way. And I think it was just overall a terrible game from us tonight. But Ben, Canadians tonight. I like a lot of the guys on the Canadians, even though I am a Bruins fan. I know it sounds crazy, but I like a lot of the players they have. They have a lot of great players on their team, and I'll let you probably take the floor for this one for the most part, but it was definitely a tough game in a lot of aspects. But definitely take it away for us and tell us how the Canadians did tonight.
I'll start with two words: heartbreaking, frustrating. That's all I'll say. Oh, and referee. That's all I'm saying. But to go more on our side of things, the players,
Hmm.
the only complaint I have about is the goaltending. Montembeault has not been great to start the year.
Right.
Like we lost to the Rangers, like I think two Saturdays ago, not the one that just passed, the other one.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
No, the second one, the one that just passed.
Okay.
And it was the one goaltending, and we probably should have won that game.
Hmm.
And now he's playing his goaltending. He's the goaltender against the Oilers. He allowed
Hmm.
6. We had a 5-3 lead. He allowed
Yeah.
6 goals.
Yeah.
You might, if you're the coach, if you're Martin Saint-Louis, you have to rethink. Or do you make Dobes the first goalie? Because if it continues like this, you can't continue to ride the train of Montembeault being the first goalie. Like
Right.
really not. Like I don't have problem with the offense. We literally put 5 goals.
Right.
Like Caulfield 2 goals, Newhook 2 goals, Kapanen 2 assists, Gallagher, Suzuki, Evans all with 1 assist, and the goal to Anderson. So I don't
Mhm.
have an issue with that.
Right.
And like Hudson has 2 assists as well. The players showed they were willing to fucking win the game in a back to back.
Mhm.
Like it's the second back to back of the year, and both showing have been great.
Right.
This game is just the goaltending. Like 6 goals on 29 shots. That's under 800 save percentage. Like
Yeah. Yep.
it's
And
like,
it's tough because I feel like the defense is not the issue because that last goal, yeah, it was tough to watch. As
yeah,
someone who obviously was rooting against the Oilers, like that was tough to watch. And I think it's a mental thing with Montembeault. Like I
yeah.
honestly, personally, I've never seen him play this bad. Like in a stretch of games, I've never seen him
It's
play this bad.
probably his worst stretch in like 2.5 years.
Yeah, like it could very well be the worst of his career.
It's probably his worst stretch because technically last month, not technically,
Mhm.
ever since he got to Montreal in 21-22,
Mhm.
last year was his best save percentage and goals
Right.
against average. Not his best goals against average by far. It was the only
Mhm.
one of the 3, and the save percentage is like it's the second best
Right.
behind the year prior. We got 0.01 more. So
Mhm.
so I think this probably his worst stretch is the 22-23 season.
Yeah, I
Which
mean, I just think that like the level of play, especially when he's getting a lot of offensive help, it's
yeah.
just like you wonder if it's a mental thing or you just wonder, is he fighting an injury? Like I don't know, and
We know he got injured at the end of like in the playoff,
right.
and that ended the season because it was Dobers for the rest of the playoffs. But
Hmm.
assuming he's healthy, like I don't see why he wouldn't be. He had like fucking 5 months to recover for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
And
I hope.
if you tell me he's not healthy, that's a fucking problem. But I don't think it's I do think he's healthy, but it's just been an awful stretch.
Yeah, yep, and I just think it's upsetting that you like you said, it could be a conversation of Dubez coming in and really having to be the number one guy. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen it happen a bunch of times before in the NHL. It's not a uncommon thing. So, do you
If
have any
you
more
think,
thoughts about the game?
I mean, I'll continue on Dobish and go on the game after that. Like if you look at save percentage,
Hmm.
he's I don't know what's classified by wins. He's technically with like I don't see his name. I don't think he's that low, but he has a pretty high goal against average
Hmm.
for to start the year. Like
Right.
it's not a problem. He has a like 950. There you go. Second
Right.
best.
Hmm. Yeah.
The
I
other
mean,
guy, the guy above him, I played the one game, so that doesn't count.
right.
He's a 950 save percentage and a 1.47 goals against average. When
Yeah.
there's Montembeault who has 382 goal against average, it's 842 save percentage. Might have to reconsider. Like,
Yeah.
if this stretch continues like this for Dobesh, you just ride the train as number one.
Yeah. And give Montembeault some time in practice to really figure himself
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Like
But
we knew the games would have been split, but
right.
I think it's continues like this. Dobesh has more games.
Yep, absolutely. And it's sad to see what's going on, but at the same time, I also think another factor in this game, I mean, they did outshoot you guys.
Yeah.
They won the majority of the times in the face-off circle tonight. And dude, this is staggering penalty numbers.
I'm just seeing this as well. That's why I was saying that the referee were bad.
Yeah, it's
The penalties as
staggering.
well.
And obviously, like I watched the first 2 periods more so than I did. I watched the first period, then I watched half the second period. Then I was flipping through other stuff because the Indiana Pacers OKC game was crazy, which I'll touch on that if narrow. I don't know if you watched it, but I know Ant and I watched that. That was insane. That to see these numbers, and it looks like to me the Oilers got a lot of calls going their way tonight.
Especially at the end of the game, and
Yeah.
we didn't get calls at the end of the game as well.
Yeah, and I think that yes, I know, refereeing is a fun, but you just can't even win games like that. Like
Yeah.
in the NHL, you can't win games giving up 6-1. So I know that the refs were definitely a factor, though. I did watch the game. I'm not going to sit here and say they weren't, but
Yeah.
um,
No,
uh,
like I'm in a literally in a Hadou chat, and literally everyone said that the referee was ass. Literally, the referee literally told Gallagher that they made a mistake
yep,
on one call that they made.
mm-hmm,
Oh, that tells you enough.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, to move on,
Yeah,
this was probably um, really probably not much to talk about this game, honestly. But tonight we had Thursday night football. It was the Vikings versus the Chargers. I honestly, there's really not much to say about this game. Like, I'll let Nero take the floor here. I know that you probably have some stats and some analysis pertaining to that, so definitely talk to us about the game tonight.
Well, yeah, and I mean, to be fair, just to really put it there, the Vikings got their ass kicked. Like that's really, what I'm saying, that's
full on belt to ass.
It was, it pretty much was, what I'm saying, like the Vikings couldn't run the ball. Not being able to run the ball hurts your offense a lot. And when you have a guy like Carson Wentz as your starting quarterback, he's not the Carson Wentz from 2017. He's a guy with 2 ACL, one ACL, one meniscus, a messed up shoulder, you name it. It's not the same quarterback anymore. It's not being able to run the ball, only having 11 rushes as a team for about less than 35 yards. It's not going to win you any games, and when you have to rely on a guy like Justin Jefferson and your receivers to do more, when the Chargers defense for the most part has Derwin James and Henley, guys like that, and Derwin James left the game early, you would have thought the Vikings would have been able to kind of take more of a shot in the passing game. But with that Chargers defensive line and how dismantled that Vikings offensive line is, it was just a no-go. It was just a no-go. And I will say Gatson, the tight end for the Chargers, the last couple weeks he's been hot. This is a guy that if I were Justin Herbert, I would try to get him more involved consistently, as well as the receivers as well. But the Chargers won this game without Quentin Johnson recording the catch. So kind of seeing how everybody else played their part, and even Kamani Vidal, who had a monster game. He had 117 yards and a touchdown. The running game overall, that was the story of the game. The Chargers had a running game and they had the better quarterback, but the running game honestly made the difference. The Chargers were able to drive down the field and do whatever they wanted. I will say for the Vikings, it's probably, hopefully JJ McCarthy comes back next week. You kind of need a spark. I know that Vikings offensive line right now, with it being dismantled, it might be kind of tough to put a guy like McCarthy out there. Only because with him having an ankle injury and you want to kind of preserve his health, you might want to stick with Carson Wentz. But if you want to even throw in Max Brosmer at quarterback, kind of see what he can do, I wouldn't mind that either. But there needs to be more of a spark, with this Vikings team at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the story of this game was definitely penalty yards. They had the Vikings had 20 more penalty yards tonight. And even though they had the same amount of penalties, it's just the penalties that they took were just weighed more on the game for the Vikings, I feel like, and they just never got a chance to get back in this game. And, even while Justin Herbert threw a pick, I also think another storyline of this game is the fact that Justin Herbert almost had 300 total yards. He had 62 yards on the ground. So, Herbert, I feel like a lot this year has used his legs a lot more, and he's making better decisions on when to use his legs and when to get out the pocket and throw and when to stay in there. So you're seeing a lot of improvement from Justin Herbert, especially with, again, remember, he's had somewhat of a depleted run game. So today the run game stepping up for him. You see what happens with when the run game steps up for the Los Angeles Chargers. Herbert's allowed to do whatever he can because you have to worry about the run. And at that point, when you got to worry about the run and you're stacking the box, he's going to take advantage in play action. He could use his feet. He's going to take advantage on throws down the field, post corner routes, posts. He's going to take streaks, fades. He's got the guys to do so. So a lot of these guys that he has are technical route runners. And QJ didn't even have to have a catch today, like you said. And I felt like that also is a clear indication of this team, when they get the run game going, they are one of the better teams in the NFL. They are.
Yes.
And I think that, Khalil Mack, kind of a monster game tonight. 2 tackles, 1 forced fumble, and a sack. Like, to me, that was the difference on defense. You got a couple other guys like Eboigbe. He had 3 tackles, 2 sacks. You know what I mean? But I think that forced fumble was the difference in the game, definitely for Khalil Mack.
Mhm.
So, you look at that type of stuff and you just hope that, this Vikings team can kind of figure it out. Justin Jefferson. If I'm Justin Jefferson, I might start to get upset. I'm not gonna lie to you. I might start to get upset, and I think he should somewhat try and put pressure on this team to really go out and get an offensive line this upcoming offseason. And actually, another thing too, Justin Jefferson did sign a 4-year, $140 million extension last season. So he's kind of stuck here. I don't think you trade a guy like that, but I think he needs to put pressure on this front office to really get the job done. And obviously a pay cut is not in question here. It's just not going to happen. But I think that is a factor 100%. Now, last game of the night, I don't know if you guys watched. I know Ant and I watched, but finals rematch, man. I actually was not expecting the Pacers to come out in this game and do what they did. This man SGA dropped 55 points. Now, I know what everyone's going to say. He had 23 points off free throws. Honestly, bro, he had 32 other points that didn't require free throws, and that's still elite as hell.
Yeah.
I think that, yes, he gets a lot of calls, but then again, I just think guys have to understand how to play against him. If you haven't figured it out yet, there's so much film on this guy, and the continuous jumping into him and the continuous letting him jump into you. I know it's easier fucking said than done. Don't get me wrong. Take it from someone who's played high level basketball in their life before. Obviously not NBA level, but I've played high enough level with elite former D1s, former D2s, D3s. My cousins are D1 to D3 players. I got a cousin in the NBA who won Rookie of the Year. So, for me, I think there has to be some sort of adjustment. And if you're anybody going up against the Thunder, you have to throw double teams at this dude, bro. I don't care what the situation is. You can't let him dribble, drive, penetrate to get to his spots because he has an array of moves. I understand that, but there has to be some sort of action where on defense where they can kind of stifle that and hedge a lot when he tries to get to the basket. I know it's easier said than done, and he's great at foul baiting, but this is the type of shit we saw with James Harden. And if anybody needs to go back and watch, if they're coaches, they need to go back and look at that film from James Harden from 2014 to fucking 2018. That'll tell you everything you need to know to stop this guy. And I think SGA is not doing anything we haven't seen before. Offensively, at least. He's an elite defender, though. I don't think that's talked about enough. He can block shots. He can 100% stop dribble drive penetration. Anybody you kind of put on him when it's anyone from the 1 to the 3 position, he can stop them. And I think SGA is an elite offensive player, but defense has got to do a better job of trying to adjust. And I felt like the Patriots were doing a good job of that throughout the first 4 quarters, and then overtime came, and they did rush a double team at him on that last second shot, and I watched that for the first overtime. He did have a look, but they rushed a double team at him and cut off his angles. The thing about a guy like SGA is you can't give him angles. The same thing with Harden. If you let them get angles to get by you, they're just going to use one move to go back the other way to get you off your balance, to put you in a different position to shift your feet. And yes, obviously, like I said, it's easier said than done, but these teams have to make adjustments in terms of help defense. You can't leave this guy on an island. He's just going to get to wherever he wants. And then to see the rate he's knocking down the 3 ball right now, you just ask yourself, bro, is there a way to stop this guy? And I was the guy who was on the free throw merchant chain all last year because I felt like last year he did get a lot of calls and he shouldn't have won MVP last year. Jokic should have. He was the first center to average a triple double for an entire season. I think people forget about that because of what the season SGA had last year. I still think Jokic is the best player in the world. He's showing it right now tonight against the Warriors. I still think that he's that guy. I still think there's nobody better than Jokic in the league. And I start to ask these questions on if SGA has taken a leap from drawing fouls, bro, because scoring 55 points tonight I know it was a double OT game, but he wasn't really doing much of the scoring in both the overtimes, to be quite real with you. He was facilitating, moving the ball. And, this isn't a very elite Thunder team defensively. They haven't really shown it these first two games due to like the overtime, but I just hope to see that someone kind of tries to find a way to stop this guy because it looks like they could be on their way to winning another championship, especially with a resounding win over the Rockets, who they shut KD down. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, he went under his 25-point player pot, bro. Not everything is about betting, bro. Y'all niggas got to chill with that shit. I get it. I get it. It's a topic of conversation, but we're talking about literally historically a top 15 to top 20 historic defense out of all the seasons that have been played in NBA history. This was a defense last year that was impenetrable. Pause. You know what I mean? So, like, you got to look at it from a certain sense of, like, if they're shutting down a team like the Rockets early on in this season, you kind of hope a guy like Wemby comes along and we'll get to that, but you guys have any thoughts on the OKC Pacers game? Anybody, if you guys watched? I know, Ant, you watched, but Nero, if you watched any at all?
Well, from the little bit I watched, especially more in the, I would say, late fourth quarter, I did see Siakam put the game into overtime and whatnot. I saw that portion. I will say, kind of just going off stats, though, like a guy like SGA, like you mentioned, like this version of SGA is the new James Harden in the NBA, and he's far better. You know what I'm saying? And when I say far better, more so how he impacts a game defensively.
Right.
This guy right here can play all facets of the game. He was able to learn from a guy like Chris Paul. He was able to be in that LA Clipper locker room his rookie year to see the guys that he was with on a playoff team kind of get the gist of, okay, this is how I have to be as an NBA player. And he got shipped off for the better. You know what I'm saying? Now in the last few years, he's at his own team. He's taking it to new heights. He has guys like Chet Holmgren, has Jalen Williams when he comes back for the most part. But a guy like him this year, and even last year and so far this year, this is a guy that's just an assassin. This guy, whenever he has the ball in his hand, he doesn't have to necessarily go to the basket, try to get a foul. He has his eyes up trying to find how to attack certain defenses and how to get guys the ball. That's what makes him so deadly. The fact that today that he was able to drop 55 in double OT, and for the most part of this game, the Pacers are right there with him, either having a lead, down a little bit, tying up the game. The fact that he was able to keep his composure and lead his team to a win, it kind of just shows you that whenever you got to play this guy, you can't just focus on him, because if you focus on him, he's able to get the ball out quick and somebody else is able to score. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes this kid so special. And and again, with the fact that him dropping 55 points, that's nothing to him. He could drop 60, he could drop 65, 70 if he really wanted to. But the fact that he dropped 55, made some key defensive stops, I mean, there's more heights to this guy. This guy in the most part, he's still young. In a sense, he's still scratching the surface. He's still scratching the surface. We don't know what else is there to him. But we get to watch. We get to watch it on a nightly basis. You know? So that's 2 double OT games that he's gone to this past game and Wednesday night against the Rockets. Hopefully their next game, it can be done early. Can not have to go into overtime, because this team right now, I will say, going into this next game, they might be a little bit tired. I don't know, but them being NBA and well conditioned, they should do fine in their next game. But fatigue can play a role, because two games down to the wire against a Hall of Famer in KD and a scrappy team like the Pacers, it could do worse to your body.
Yeah, it can. And you like you said, that was very well said too. But you look at the Pacers too; they didn't play so bad tonight. I mean, I just thought that they made a lot of interesting decisions defensively. And when you really look at the box score, bro, he really got no help other than Aaron Wiggins tonight. That's also a staggering thing.
Mitchell.
And AJ Mitchell, 26 points off the bench. Like, it was really just those three guys attacking the game. And, this Pacers team, they had an all-around effort offensively, but defensively, it just wasn't there for them in terms of the end of the game. I think they got gassed. I think they got winded, and they were tired of trying to chase around SGA. Boneheaded play by Benedict Mathurin to, stand in front of him on a pump fake. You got to know when a guy's going to take a jump shot, bro. Like, I feel like that's like a fundamental thing too. If his feet don't leave the ground, why are you jumping?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They teach you from a young age. This is how you pump fake, bro. You go up and you just go like this. You don't move. You just put your arms up. Why are you jumping? His feet are still on the ground. I know it's easier said than done, but this is
Right.
a fundamental. You're in the NBA.
Yep.
So I understand it's high level basketball, but that's a fundamental. And this, they got to stop giving this guy angles. But Ant, what did you see about the game tonight?
You know, from the portion I kind of watched of it, I think I mainly saw like the fourth quarter and then the overtimes. It was kind of back and forth very much at the end, like you said. Pacers were kind of like you and Errol said, the Pacers were keeping up with them.
Right.
It's just when it came down to it, um, I don't even really want to like it. I mean, Errol kind of hit hit the nail on the head with SGA. I mean, SGA just he does what he needs to do. He I mean, the way he played tonight, he just comes up clutch when you need him. And yeah, he doesn't do like anything like too crazy, but like from what I've seen the last two games, most of what he kind of does, like where he mostly impacts the game, is late in the game, and that's kind
Right.
of what you want. It's kind of what you want when it's the NBA. So, or any sport really, if you can get a player who impacts the game late, I mean, why not? And SGA has definitely done that the last two games.
Right.
He's just been doing what he needs to do. But shout out to the Pacers. They got a decent squad. They look pretty solid. Holding up against the Thunder team that obviously just won the championship and had that double overtime win against the Rockets on Tuesday. I mean, yeah, it was just a crazy game to the finish. So it's a good one for the Thunder overall, and I guess we see how it goes.
Yeah.
Keeps going for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got
And
the Hawks on Saturday, I will say. So hopefully that's a game that doesn't have to go into double OT. You know what I'm saying? That should be
right.
But I think the Thunder is back-to-back double OT.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're tired.
They're tired.
Yep, they're tired right now, man. And someone's got to take advantage at one of these points, bro.
Absolutely.
And I mean, not to really go off topic, I guess, but this Nuggets Warriors game might go to overtime.
It might.
Yeah.
I do want to mention just quickly.
I have one thing to say as well after that.
Wemby is ridiculous, bro. I don't know if any of you guys watched that game the other night, bro. I'm sorry, dude. He might win. He might win MVP and DPOY, dude. Like honestly, if he stays healthy, bro, I just don't know, dude. I think the only person who might be able to stop him is Giannis. Like I think Giannis might be the only guy, because if he made Anthony Davis look like a fucking, it's like he made Anthony Davis look like, you ever seen a fucking fifth grader try and fucking play against the eighth grader? And that's what that looked like. Like, and we're talking about AD, bro. We're not talking about slouch. Like, we're talking about genuinely one of the best defensive players in the league. Like, he made him look like a fifth grader all night.
Yeah,
and
he's the eighth grader.
Yeah. You ask yourself, like, is there a way this dude can be stopped? And I just don't. I don't think so, man. I really don't. So, that's just obviously one thing I wanted to bring up from the other night too. But what did you say, Ben? I'm sorry.
This Denver Golden State is going to OT. Jokic missed not a free throw, but a layup.
Yeah.
Nice. Fucking
So
nigga.
it's going to overtime. What I wanted to say is to go back on the Pacers Thunder game.
Mhm.
The one I didn't really watch it. I didn't watch it at all.
Right.
That was my focus on hockey. But the Benedict Mathurin, dude, this guy is absolutely nuts.
Benny
It's-
Math.
Yeah, it's just insane. Bro, we can like he had like 36 points. Like I know we went to double OT, but like 36 points, 15 of those were free throws. Like technically, if 21 from open play.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I mean, when Benny Math is on, Benny Math is one of the best scorers in the league for sure.
and you watch John tonight. It was just unfortunate that SGA put up 55.
I think he needs to like learn how to move the ball better. But other than that, he's a great scorer. There's a lot of other things he could do well, but he's definitely a great
has
scorer.
to be the man this year. One of the men besides Siakam, he has to be the guy that really pushes the team too with his scoring.
Yeah, it should be Nemhart, but that man can't stay healthy right now. I don't know what's going. I don't know what's up. He's out the game because of his left shoulder.
With Ali Burton out, Siakam and Matthews.
Hey, with Halliburton out, I feel like the most important player on that team will be Nemhart. No cap.
Yeah, fair.
Just because we've already seen what Siakam can do as a number one option, or well, I wouldn't say number one, as he was a number two option on a championship team. So now you're looking at him like a number one all year. So a guy like Nemhart, he's got to be the number two, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He really does because he can shoot, he can score, he can also facilitate the ball. I think that's another thing too, and he's a great defender. So it's like he's really got to be that number two guy offensively. I would say to say the least. I should say Neesmith is going to be the probably the second best guy on defense just because of his defensive versatility. He's a great defender. He can stretch the floor. And I think that he's probably going to be the third most important. I think in terms of scoring, Benny Math has to be the second best player on the team for sure.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about that. But
hopefully Neesmith does take a step up in scoring also, because I know he had a tough time guarding SGA tonight. Him early. He only had 6. I believe it was 5 points and 7 rebounds. I want to say around that type. But with him again, SGA is a hard matchup. So hopefully, as games goes on, he can provide a lot more scoring, stay out of foul trouble, because that's another guy right there. Especially in his time as a Pacer, he's grown into being one of the tougher defenders. Not to be the toughest defender in the league, but at least for like, hey, if we need you to guard this guy, and he'll give it his all. So if he continues to at least play that way defensively, stay out of foul trouble, and produce timely scoring.
Yeah,
at least this team has somebody that when one guy's off, another guy can step up. So
absolutely, yeah, they're gonna have to really work the ball around this year, man. 1,000%. But what an awesome mix of events here tonight, bro. We should honestly probably do this post game show, set it up like this a lot more, just because now we're in the full swing. All the sports now, everything's in the full swing. So from the post game show, we're gonna give you guys a little bit more of hockey, basketball. If we can at points, we'll give you guys some tennis because there are some tennis tournaments going on. So Ant and I will probably give you, for those who are interested. We know we got some tennis guys up in Discord too, and sometimes in the Instagram chat. So I just definitely want to structure it like this from now on too. And I mean, when Nero invites us to, we'll be on WTHHS. For those watching, we'll be on What the Hell is Happening in Sports. You guys got to make sure you guys go subscribe to What the Hell is Happening in Sports. We do a lot of collab podcasts with them. So we love it over here in Bay State Media. It's awesome. We got a lot of big announcements, some big stuff coming. I can't tell you guys too much because I signed some paperwork. So there's not really too much, but I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of stuff in the woodworks that's happening, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. But it's late. All of us, I'm probably gonna watch the end of this game. I don't know about you guys. I'm definitely gonna watch the end of this Nuggets game real quick before I settle in for the night. But yeah, man, what an awesome post game show. Yep. We will see you guys tomorrow because we got the Celtics playing tomorrow. So we'll be up in this piece. I'm sure we'll probably be on WTHHS. I'm assuming for the Celtics game, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yes, indeed. So you guys will see us on WTHHS chopping it up about the Celtics tomorrow. The Bruins are off tomorrow. I know that for a fact.
Canadians all play Saturday.
Yep, Gabs are off tomorrow. Devils play tomorrow. So
Yep.
You know, maybe Ant and I will do a little Devils pregame or something because I know that there's no football. There's no. I think the Celtics might be really one of our
The
only
World
teams.
Series beginning tomorrow.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that might be actually the level of priority. We're probably gonna do Blue Jays pregame. That would be awesome. We get that done. If you guys want to join, absolutely join us for the Blue Jays pregame. That's gonna be exciting. Honestly, I don't think the Dodgers are gonna spank the Blue Jays, but I think that it's gonna be an interesting World Series for sure. There's no doubt about it.
Don't give them a run for their money.
I think, yeah, I was gonna say, I think that it'll be a lot closer than people probably think. To be quite real with you,
A season,
I hope not.
series between
he said, "I hope not."
the season series between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers finished 2-1 Dodgers.
Yeah. Yep.
So like,
Yep.
and it was like in I think July or August.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
Yeah,
it
but
was-
those 2 games, they were on your ass. Those 2 games.
This has a
Oh, we still
Yankees-
won one.
Oh shit!
I
But yeah,
guess,
guys.
But you know,
But yeah, guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Toronto Blue Jays post game. Pregame.
Yeah.
Bruins. Sorry, Celtics pregame, and then we'll have the Jays and the Celtics post game. I'm sure Nero will be on WTHHS. I'm sure we'll flip back through both of those games. But yeah, guys, what an awesome post game. Thank you guys for pulling up. Shout out Ant, Ben, Mr. What the hell is happening in sports, Nero. See you guys on the flip.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. Curry's going stupid.